Hi Programming 1 students, Marsh here virtually. So welcome to the very first virtual Miss Marsh lesson. This is on if-then statements in Visual Basic. You are going to want to have open the note sheet so that you can fill in the information as I discuss it with you. That will be your way of showing to me that you turned in this video, you've watched this video for this today. So first thing we want to talk about, well, in programming you're going to find that there's certain things you want to happen if certain values are typed in. Sometimes these are called cases, these certain values. Very commonly you're going to hear these called conditionals, or in most programming languages and most programmers will say if statements. So if this is what they type in, then do this. So what we're going to look at is the if-then statement. If-then statements are decision statements. What that means is that you're going to execute a set of statements when a condition is true. So if I see something, if I'm checking for, let's say, the value to be less than 5, I would be running only certain things because the value is less than 5. On that note sheet, as I'm going through here, you should be filling in the information as it goes. And that might mean that you might need to pause my video, which is kind of nice. Can't really pause me in real life, but on virtual Marsh, you can definitely pause me and make me quiet for a little bit of time so you guys can make sure you understand what you're learning here. General form and Visual Basic, in pretty much almost any language that you look at, you're going to see the word if, and then you're going to see a condition. So the condition is as simple as what the computer is going to evaluate to be either true or false. Usually that's with like an equal sign or a less than or a greater than or something along those lines. Then you're going to see the word then. Oh, that was my phone going off. Then you see the word then, and then you're going to have these statements values right here. Statements are what the computer is going to do if that condition is in fact true. So if this turns to be a true statement, this is what's going to actually happen or execute. And then we have this end if. This is our way of telling Visual Basic, this is the stop. This is what I want you to stop at if it's true. Now let's say this condition turns to false. That means nothing inside here will run because this is only going to execute if I am true. Let's take a look at an example here. So I have dim int age as integer. And I have if int age is equal to 18, then LBL message.text equals you can vote, end if. So ultimately we got a couple of different statements here. So what if int age is 19? What if it's assigned the value of 19? So that means they're going to be like, well, what if I make this right here equal to 19? Well, let's check. So first of all, we know that over here in computer memory land, there is a box that says int age on it, and inside of that box is the number 19. So we're going to look in this if statement. So we got if int age. Now when it sees that, it's going to go, oh, what was int age again? It's going to go look in its memory, in its box, and it's going to be like, oh, that's 19. Okay, so let's cross that off. We're going to put a 19 here. So if 19 is equal to 18. So now the computer's got to decide, is 19 equal to 18? No, right? 19 is definitely not equal to 18. So this right here will not run. This has to be a true statement for this to happen. So this is going to be, what is going to be displayed? Nothing. Nothing will be displayed here. Okay, so that label, LBL message.text, that text is going to be nothing. There's not going to be anything in that label. Now, what if my int age is 14? So we're going to go back here, do some erasing. So what's going to happen is we're going to say, hey, you know, int age, what if you're 14 now? Well, that means 14 here, right? So now it's going to go, if int age is 18, Well, it's going to cross off int age, right? It's going to go look and see, oh, int age was assigned a value of 14. So then we're going to check, is 14 equal to 18? Definitely not, right? 14 is not 18, Marsh. Really? Come on now, right? That's what's probably what you're thinking. Like, really? You're going to pause for that? It's not, right? So that means, again, this will not happen. So again, nothing will be displayed. Now, let's try the final case. They're saying, what if int age is 18 finally? So we're going to do some erasing here. Pen, so my 18 is my int age. So that means in memory, int age has a value of 18 in it. So then, when it goes to here, it says int age equals 18. It's going to assign int age to be 18, because that's the value. It's going to ask, is 18 equal to 18? Yes, right? This is the first time we can say that, in fact, is a true statement. So if that's true, that means that what's going to be displayed is you can vote. Okay, so that is what's going to display because my value is 18. Let's discuss a little bit more. We can also use other relational operators, not just equal signs. Now, some of you are going to be like, really? We're going to discuss this. But I know there are some of you who struggle trying to figure out which one's the less than and which one's the greater than. Here is how I found a lot of students do better on that regard. This guy right here is the less than. If you extend this line right here and turn your head to the right, I see you guys turning your head to the right, because I am doing that right now. I see an L form, right? That's how I know that this is a less than sign, okay? So that helps you, if that helps you figuring out which one's the less than, which one's the greater than. That will be the best thing, is it extends and it makes an L. I know some of you have learned like the Pac-Man and the big fish and the little fish. I find that still kind of confusing for kids, so I find the less than works best. This guy right here, this is the greater than symbol. Now, looking at these ones, now you're probably like, Marsh, what is this one? Well, honestly, this one is the greater than or equal to. Most of you are used to the sign of this. But here's the thing, this isn't on a keyboard. I've never found a keyboard that has that. So we as programmers need to be creative and come up with a way to type that. So what's nice about it though is it's literally the words match the symbol. So it's a greater than symbol with an equal sign. And your greater than, your less than are located under your L key on a standard keyboard. This guy, of course, is the less than or equal to. Okay, and then what is this guy? Less than, greater than. That's kind of a weird symbol. Well, what other things would we possibly want to check for? So we have the ability to check for less thans. We have the ability to check for greater thans. We have the ability to check for equal to. What if I want to check for not equal to? What if I wanted to check for, well, in math, we see it like this, an equal sign with a cross through. But again, that's not available on a keyboard. So this is Visual Basic's way of saying not equal to. So what if I wanted to look for, what if I wanted something to happen for everything besides the number 5? So I would say if my value is not equal to 5. That would allow me to be able to, if they type in a 7 or a 9 or a 3, I would be able to display something inside my label. So let's take a look at an example here. So I got int age again as integer. Int age needs to be greater than 17. If it is, I will display you can see an R-rated film without an adult. And I have my end if there. So int age again, they're going to assign it a value of 19. So 19. Let's check. If int age is greater than 17, so again we're going to cross off int age, it's 19. Is 19 greater than 17? Is 19 bigger than 17? Yes, right? It is. So that's a true statement. Since that's a true statement, I can go inside of the if. I will run what's inside this if statement. So this will say you can see an R-rated film. Okay? And it would have more too, but I just didn't want to write all of it. You can be lazy too. I'm giving you permission. Okay? So let's check 17. What about 17 here? Let's erase that. 17, 17, 17. Okay. 17. So my int age is 17. So then it's going to check. Is 17 greater than 17? Is 17 greater than 17? No, right? 17 is not greater than 17. It would be greater than or equal to 17, but it's definitely not greater than 17. So in this case, for 17, nothing, again, would be displayed. Okay? So let's check for 13, for the final check, the final test case, one might call it. Let's see. 13. Is 13 greater than 17? Definitely not, right? 13 is not greater than 17. It's smaller than that. So again, this guy also would say, ooh, I lost my cursor there, nothing. Okay? So it's thinking through, it's basically asking yourself the questions, and a lot of times what you're going to find is, I know when I'm reading code like this, I have to read through it and I need to ask, is 13 greater than 17? And I literally will ask myself, no or yes or true or false. That way it's making it easier in your brain when you're going through this content. Now, let's take a look at this. What I'm going to have you do, I'm going to assign int mystery a value, and then we're going to decide what int mystery will be for a value. It's going to give you guys a little bit of time to think through some stuff. So let's say int mystery is 13. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to think through these if statements. Now, when I do this int mystery equals int mystery plus 15, that means you're going to add 15 to int mystery and put it back in that value. Okay, so that variable. I'm going to pause for a little bit and let you think through this and see what int mystery will turn out to be at the end of these two separate if statements. Did you pause the video? Nah, I bet you didn't. You should probably pause it again, just to make sure. Did you? Did you pause it? Nah, I bet you did. But, you know, I'll wait a couple more seconds, just in case. Alright, so, you should have paused it. Hopefully you did. Otherwise, you got to listen to me talk to myself. That's okay. Alright, so 13. So first thing, int mystery is greater than or equal to 14. Well, 13 is not greater than or equal to 14, right? So this will not happen. So let's go to the next one. Is 13 less than 29? Yes, right? That is a true statement. So what I will do is I will take 13 and divide that by 4. 13 divided by 4 is 3. Right? That would be 3 and some change. So in this case, int mystery would give you a value of 3. Let's try one more for you guys to think through. Okay. Let's try the value of 30. Okay, so I'm going to pause again. I'm going to let you guys think. Let you guys see if you can figure out what would display or what would be int mystery's value. Okay, you should have paused. If you didn't, you should pause again and make sure you do this. So, is 30, so first thing what's going to happen is we're going to say, is 30 greater than or equal to 14? Yes, right? 30 is greater than 14. So I'm going to go into this if statement here, and I get the value of int mystery which is 30. I'm going to add 15 to that. So that means int mystery is now 45, right? 30 plus 15 is 45. We stop that if. Now let's check the next one. Is 45, because that's what int mystery is now, right? Less than 29? No, Marsh, right? 45 is not less than 29. So this will not run. Okay? So being careful, paying attention to who's going to run and who's not going to run is the case in our if statements. Now, this is the end of the video. So here's what I'm going to need you guys to do. The proof that you watched this video. You are going to want to complete the last couple of questions on that note sheet and decide what will be displayed on those if statements. And then you're going to turn it in to Classroom to prove that you watched this video. That's going to be basically your very, very, very first assignment of quarter 4 of this class. I look forward to seeing you guys, and I hope you are doing well. See you later, Sabers.